Welcome back. Let's begin with some breaking inputs coming in from Maharashtra. The state's Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has said that he does not agree with Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari's remarks on Mumbai, asserting that the contribution made by Marathi people to the growth of the city can never be disregarded. For more details, let's quickly go across to Harman Gomes, who's joining us live on the broadcast. Harman, this is now after first we heard Deputy CM Fadnavis talk about how he's distancing himself from those remarks, and now with that we're also listening to what Eknath Shinde has to say, and that clearly goes on to throw light on how the BJP is consciously distancing itself from Bhagat Singh Koshyari's remarks.
Well, yes, with this latest statement now coming in from the Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, where he's clearly stated that all people had, including the Marathi people, had contributed towards the growth of Mumbai, and that cannot be ignored. So clearly the governor of Maharashtra, Bhagat Singh Koshyari, would now definitely feel isolated because he's not got any support from any political party, whether those from the ruling, which is the Eknath Shinde faction, or the BJP, or whether it is the opposition parties, whether it is the NCP, Uddhav Thackeray's faction from the Shiv Sena, or whether it is the Congress. They've all targeted him, but so far there has been constant demand coming in from various of the opposition parties stating that he needs to apologize, so much so that Priyanka Chaturvedi, the Shiv Sena MP, has stated that in case if he does not apologize, they will continue to demand for his removal. But so far only a limited statement from the governor's office, which has said that he did not mean to hurt anyone's sentiments, and that clearly, it was to be seen, not to be seen in the way he had spoken about. But today we've seen protests by the NCP repeated,
right.
even Mr. Uddhav Thackeray taking a special press conference and attacking him and stating that having spent 2.5 years, he had no regard for the culture of Maharashtra, and therefore should be treated with a Kolhapuri chappal. Clearly stating that that he should be assaulted in a way by the Kolhapuri chappal. Back to you.
Right, Harman, I'm also going to ask you to take us through how his remarks have in fact galvanized the opposition forces, because just some time ago we also, let me quickly go across to Majid Memon, who's joining me on the phone line. Mr. Memon, we've just got a statement coming in from Eknath Shinde, the CM, stating that he disagrees with what has been said by the governor of Maharashtra, and not just Mr. Shinde. We've also heard what Devendra Fadnavis had to say. Do you not think that this is doing justice to the entire matter now that the BJP has made conscious efforts to distance themselves?
The governor of Maharashtra has been making statements which are unnecessarily at times creating controversies, and then counter statements are coming, criticism is flowing. This is not what the governor is expected to do. With respect to the Honorable Governor, we must keep on saying, we must remember that the governor is not supposed to take up any issues which have political ramifications. He should behave in a way as though people to the state would not know as to which political party does he belong to. He is not there to promote the ideology of his political party, to which he is a part of. Unfortunately, we have been seeing that this governor has been conducting himself as though he is an active politician. You see, once you assume the office of governor, you have to leave your political background outside Raj Bhavan. Otherwise, you are not doing justice to your position. Even under the constitution, the governor is not supposed to comment on the policies, etc., and speak anything that has political impact. And this governor has been doing it time and again.
Right, Mr. Memon, but he's also issued a clarification saying that he did not mean to disregard Marathis, and that he's also... All right, I'm also joined in by Mr. Ashok Chavan on the phone line. Mr. Chavan, we've heard what Mr. Eknath Shinde had to say. We've also heard comments coming in from the Deputy CM, Mr. Fadnavis, as well. There's been a clarification that has been issued by the governor himself. Do you think this is enough now?
Well, the damage, whatever has to be done, has already been done. I think a person sitting on the responsible position like the governor of a very important state, and moreover being a governor, I think it is more a responsibility of him to see that he doesn't utter such, he doesn't make such statements which are going to ultimately cause a linguistic or a communal divide in various communities. And this issue, of course, as you all aware, Mumbai and Maharashtra has come up to the contribution of all the across cross sections of the society, people who have worked hard and earned their money and made Mumbai what it is today. It is a contribution of everybody. So, I mean, but by saying such, making such irresponsible statements, I feel we are unnecessarily creating a divide, a linguistic divide and a community divide, which is not desired and definitely more condemnable. And I would definitely condemn this statement made by the Honorable Governor and
Mr. Chavan, how do you assess the argument when others who are now stating that that the idea was to only appreciate the diversity that exists in the state of Maharashtra, and that what Governor Koshyari actually said was not to insult the spirit of the Marathi Manus, instead he was appreciating the diversity?
Whatever clarifications which are being made now are merely to somehow tide over the present controversy which has been created. I feel if it had come from from his statement during the course of the function, I could understand that. But this is a afterthought which is being done to probably cover up the statement made earlier. But nevertheless, whatever damage had to be done, it has been done. So I feel that it is for him to refrain from making such irresponsible statements for a senior person like him.
And how do you view the comments that are now coming across as backlash? Because we've heard Uddhav Thackeray say that it's time that he faces the chappal, the Kolhapuri chappal. What do you make of such comments?
I would like to add to anybody else's statement. I'm just commenting on what statement Mr. Koshyari has done, is made today as a governor. Well, there are bound to be reactions. There are bound to be people who are going to react very strongly on this. I was just plainly putting my, point of view on the cost.
But you don't think that the BJP distancing itself by stating that they do not agree with what the governor has had to say, whether it is the CM of the state or even the deputy CM himself, is enough?
No, there are people who may...
no, but we are talking about the CM and the current deputy CM. They are not people.
Yeah, no, that's right. But then, since the governor comes, he is expected not to take any sides. And as I felt, the governor and the chief minister they need not agree, but at least they can condemn that this is not what Maharashtra expects from a responsible person like the governor.
All right, Mr. Chavan, thank you so much for giving us your precious time and for speaking to CNN News 18.